Welcome to the first episode of After the Meeting. Okay, YouTube, listen to me. I've been wanting to do this for so long, and YouTube is harder than I thought. Okay, YouTube is real hard, but let's just get straight into it. First off, so that I don't lick my lips the entire time I'm on here today, so let's go ahead and put on some lip oil, because I have a tendency to lick. I have a tendency to lick my lips excessively, okay? And this is one of the things that we're going to get into in this entire series. This entire series is all about personal development, professional development. It's about executive presence. It's about identity, inner authority. We're talking about how can we change our lives by changing our inner. What can we do in our inner to change our outer? It is that? Inner, outer. Inner, outer. Because if we do identity work, what I've discovered in my life is that the more you know yourself and the more you show up as your true self, the better your life is and the better the opportunities are. In fact, the more you have dominion and control over what it is that you allow in your life. So welcome to After the Meeting, and I am your host, Ace King, and this is just a continuation of all of the things that we do over at AK Consulting Group, okay, which is my business, my company. And if you want to know more about us, just go to aceking.com and you can read all about it. But listen, did you know 1 million women have been forced out of corporate America in 2025? Somebody say it again for me. It's not a laughing matter, but I'm tickled pink because the whole ASMR thing, I know this is so left field. The whole ASMR thing is just funny. I don't get it, but I love it. And I love listening to ASMR. So if I chuckle and cackle from time to time, it's okay. Because today we're going to get into this conversation about why women are leaving corporate America in 2025. One of the things that I love to focus my business around is how do we help single women in corporate America to break through those barriers that exist in corporate America. We're talking about the systemic barriers, those institutional barriers, the microaggressions. We're talking about the racism. We're talking about the discrimination. We're talking about the straight up misogyny. Okay? Somebody say misogyny. Misogyny. Okay, I'm not going to do that the whole episode, okay? In fact, I just wanted to get on here today to have a conversation about it, and then for us to collectively talk about what our next steps are, because I've been reading so many reports, and if you guys are like me and you like research and you like to know what's happening, check out this one. McKinsey and Co. They recently did a research project or a research, I don't know what it was. It was a research briefing, okay? And in this briefing, what they focused on was women in the workforce in 2025. So we already know that corporate America's seen the biggest rollback to DEI and women's rights and LGBTQ rights and all of the things. But what we didn't talk about was how were the women feeling inside of the organization? And what this report kind of articulates is, well, the women feel hopeless. They feel hopeless. They're working just as hard, if not harder than the men or their other counterparts, but they're not being promoted. They're not being elevated. They're not being supported. No one has their back. They're oftentimes railroaded and pushed out. They're told they're too much or not enough. I literally had a lady tell me just the other day, my job got mad at me because I was too quiet. Have this ever happened to you where your quietness is seen as a threat? Even you in stillness is threatening. And that's the thing that we have to be made aware of in 2026, because What's going to happen here? And I want you to hear me closely. Hear your big cousin, your work husband. Hey, babe. Ace, tell you, if we don't make a change, what's going to happen is you're going to sit through this nervous system disruption year after year, after year, after year. You're going to hop from job to job because most likely they're going to figure a way to push you out. And so you're going to have to find another job. Your life is going to be destabilized. And you're going to be feeling so inferior, so defeated. You're going to have so much doubt about who you are and what you can do and what could happen for you next. And you'll accept anything because that's just the way the research shows. So what do we do about this? What do we do about this issue? What do we do about these things when we realize that there is a major issue? Well, the first thing is we have to get proactive. And in 2026, when it comes to proactivity, there's no time more than now to be proactive because AI is coming. Okay? AI. And AI is trying to figure out who can I replace. And for some reason, it seems, if you look at the research, this is alleged, but it seems like the research is saying AI is gonna take all of the women jobs first. I didn't make that up. That's not me. That's not me. I didn't say that. AI is replacing jobs and nobody is replacing their income. So get proactive now. Get into the space while you still have your job. You still got your benefits. You can still save. You can still invest into yourself. You can still build something that's going to take you to the next level. Now is the time. Now is the time. Now is the time to pack up all of what you know that is you. This leads me to another conversation. Do you even know yourself? Do you know yourself? Because most people that I meet, they introduce themselves to me and they tell me all about their titles and all of their accolades. They tell me about how phenomenal they've done in college and how much they've earned and all of these things. And they never even have a complete understanding of who they are at the core. This is called self-concept. Self-concept is a major part of the work that I do at AKG. Because what I've realized is that most people are accepting things because they don't have a true connection to who they are at the core. And if you don't have that connection to yourself and know who you are in an identity crisis. And you have to understand that your identity is influenced by your environment. And so for those of you who are going to work every day, and you're working harder than everyone else, but being underpaid. And you're doing all of the jobs, but being under-recognized. You're constantly being told you're not good enough. You need to develop more. You need to be coached more. All of these things, all of these defamatory, derogatory things. Do you not think your nervous system is ingesting that stuff? Or is it digesting? I don't know. I didn't say that I was a award-winning encyclopedia. That's not what I said. I said I help people to transform how they show up so that they can demand the life that they want. That's what I do. Okay. So your nervous system is taking in all of this damage and it's influencing your identity. And what happens is, and this is what I see every day, most of the people believe all of the shit that people have said. Most people believe it. So most people believe you shouldn't be promoted unless you are working harder than everyone else. Even if that harder than everyone else is 50% harder than everyone else. Even if everyone around you is mediocre, you have a belief system that I have to show out, I have to perform, I have to do all of these things in order to be successful. That's an identity issue, because the truth is, I've seen people who have degrees from McDonald's. I'm sorry. Y'all, watching yourself on the camera is it's a whole trip. I'm gonna have to do something different because I tickle me, okay? I tickle me, okay? I've seen people with a degree from McDonald's get corporate careers, making more than the person with the MBA. What's the difference between the person who has the credentials, who has the degree, who has the receipts, has the tenure, all of the things? What's the difference between them and the other person? They believe in themselves. It's really that simple. They believe in themselves more. And let me tell you something. A person who believes in themselves more is always going to beat you. They don't have to have the same degree, the same skills, the same experience, the same tenure. If they show up with a sense of self and presence, I've seen it happen. I've literally seen it happen. I have friends, and I can't say their names, but I have friends who have PhDs and MBAs who were beat out and replaced by people who had none of the same high level credential or status. But what separated the two, that person believed in themselves more. And I see this all the time. So anyways, before we get too into a tangent, 1,000 women left corporate America because they were forced out. They didn't find a space for them, so they were unsupported. They were treated unfairly. They were discriminated against. They had poor benefits. They couldn't take maternity leaves. And these same single women did not have a second income support. And so their lives were destroyed and destabilized. This is why today must start the work, the inner you. The more that you learn how to be you is when you're going to earn more money. It's when you're going to show up differently. It's when you're going to have those neural pathways that will unlock your life and help you to do higher things. That is what's going to change your life. Identity work, presence work, self-concept work. Because what happens here is that you start to see other things that you never saw before. There's this thing, me and my good friend, Dr. Vanessa R. Brooks, leadership scientist. If you want to know more about the brain and neuroscience, go see her, Dr. Vanessa R. Brooks. But she and I used to do this speaking engagement where we would do this assignment with the entire audience where we would show them this graphic. And the graphic really had an animal in it. It was a picture of an animal, but it was concealed in a way that if no one told you it was an animal, you wouldn't be able to see it. But once you saw it, you never could unsee it. So I need you to think about this in your life. What are the things that you cannot see? What are the opportunities that you cannot see? What are the moments of bliss and happiness and peace and liberation? What are they that you cannot see? That's what you discover through identity work, because you start to work through some of the trauma, some of the belief systems, and some of the indoctrination. You start to deconstruct from the normatives, and you start to see clearly who you are, whose you are, and what you can do in this life. That's where I want all of us to be in 2026, because I want you to 10x your life. I think that's a good note to end. This is the first episode. Tell me more about what you guys want to know and talk about and all of those things. But this is after the meeting with Ace King, your host, executive presence strategist, aka the identity architect. I'm so excited about what else is coming this year. I'm going to help you to professionally, personally, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually develop yourself so that you can show up in a world that deserves to see you and to see the real you. Anyways, I love you. So like, comment, and share, subscribe. Welcome back. I'm back on YouTube. I'm back. I don't know if it's going to be for a long time, but I hope it is, okay? I hope it is. I hope I'm here to stay. This is 2026. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.